Hello, listeners. Welcome back to another episode of Talking Parra, episode number 9. And joining us this week, we have Adam Martin. We've got Hayden from the Entertain House. We've got Matty Tate from Tate Sports Cards. And you have myself, Troy, from the Parra Cave podcast. This week, we're going to chat about the epic win against the Panthers up there at Blue Bet Stadium. And we're going to preview the game against the Roosters up there at Magic Round at Suncorp Stadium. But let's sit back, relax, and enjoy this one. And Adam, it's over to you, mate.
Yeah, thanks, Troy, and welcome to Talking Parra Round 9. Well, first of all, say the West is ours, and what a good feeling, a bit of revenge. And look, I'm not going to talk too much to start. I ran my mouth a bit after we beat Newcastle, so I'm going to hand it straight over to the Penrith boys. I know how that one feels for you. So, Matt, we'll go to you first. What's your take?
Yeah, it was a good win. Always a good win out of Penrith. I hardly go to the Panthers games now because obviously their fans are just arrogant and because they're always winning bandwagoners. But it was pretty funny when after the game they were telling me, go back to Parra, go home. And I'm like, mate, I live around the corner. I'm probably closer to the stadium than you are. So, yeah, it's always good to get a home win, technically home win here. And, yeah, it's all week it's been good walk around to the shops in my Parra gear, just giving it to the fans. And I haven't seen many Penrith jerseys out and about this week, so it's been pretty funny.
Yeah, Troy, next local.
Yeah, well, how good was it? For me, it's the annual boys get-together night, and always love this game. Missed out the last couple of years, and to get that win 22-20 over the Panthers, fantastic. Great atmosphere at the ground. A lot of Parra fans there, which was great to see, and it was good that we got one over. I suppose you could probably call them the big brother at the moment, being the premiers, I guess, but good to get one over them.
Wonderful. Hayden, you're obviously there as well. A couple of rows in front of me. Stirring a bit of ruckus. How are your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, absolutely enjoyed the 60 minutes of the game that I got to attend. Obviously 20 minutes in bloody hot chocolate lime, but very good to win the Battle of the West. Is always going to be a tough game at huge odds, but always in with a chance and got the job done in the end. Thought Tom Opacek had a really outstanding game with his tackle breaks. It was great to see him back in the side, so good to see the lineup retaining Tom Opacek this weekend.
Yeah, wonderful. I'll touch quickly on some of my thoughts of the game. Obviously, look, we marked it last week. It was one of those games. We said, we know the boys are going to be on for this game. We know they've been looking at this since the fixture was released. We got cheated last year. There's no doubt about that. Ironically, there's a trainer in the news again, but we'll touch on that a bit later. Apparently it's all right for a trainer to ask the game to be stopped, but nothing else. A couple of key moments of the game, obviously, we'll touch on later, and a couple of, we'll say, referee blunders. But yeah, my thoughts on the game, obviously, yeah, wonderful game. Slow start, got back into it through the grind. Great eyes up by Will Penasini, and we'll get into more details of the game later. But I want to touch on the crowd quickly, and it's funny, I've watched the Channel 9 coverage back. The Fox Sports coverage back, it was. And I think it was about 17 minutes to go, and the crowd figure come up of 21,600 people, and the commentators go, oh, look at this, Penrith, their members are on fire. They're filling stadiums now. There's not many Parramatta fans here. 10 minutes later, we were all there for it. I don't know if it sent goosebumps down your spine like I did mine, and my arms were tingling, but that Parra chant was 7 minutes to go. It went around the whole ground. I've touched on one of the groups. Went around the whole ground. It echoed. It went for about a minute. And Michael Ennis, the commentators, even commentated on it. So you can stick that up your ass. There was a lot of Parramatta fans there. I'm estimating probably 6,000 or 7,000 maybe. Really showed the numbers at the end, but it's hard to tell in that kind of ground as well because it's a terrible venue to watch from if I'm going to be 100% honest. I never would have said that years ago. A small venue, obviously it's a great atmosphere, don't get me wrong, but I think we're pretty spoiled now with Bank West. There's not a bad spot to watch from Bank West, and look, it's hard to see things the other end of the field from where we were. Look, I'll go to you first, Hayden. We'll go your player of the game and your big moment of the game.
For me, I think Dylan Brown being back in that number 6 jersey, I think there are a few players that really stood up, but I think Dylan Brown really showed. And I think even though Mitchell Moses had an off game, he didn't need to be absolutely brilliant. He was still kind of do the job, but I think Dylan Brown was the better half. So I'd go Dylan Brown. And I think, I'm just trying to think of obviously that it's tough to say, but I think the Madison try was a real game changer. It kind of showed that, hey, we've got this lead and we've got it good. Was it Madison or Brown who scored first? I was there for Dylan Brown's try.
Matter scored first, and then
so he
literally the
gave
next set,
he
Dylan
gave us
scored.
the lead 16-14, if I'm not mistaken. And that was a real game-changing moment in the game. Another game-changing moment that I want to speak about, and you probably might touch on it later, but going to decide take the tap, not the two. In the moment, I kind of agreed with it. I think it showed that we were, ready in attack, but at the same time, it almost cost us. So I think that was a big moment to touch on as well.
Yeah, look, we'll touch on that now. I agree with the decision because, to me, there's not much difference between an 8-point lead and a 10-point lead. The problem is we grinded so well there. We looked for those repeat sets. We got the ball back. We pushed on, but the play was on. If Will Penasini catches that ball, it wasn't the best pass. He goes straight through. The gap was the size of Sydney Heads, to be honest. The play was on, but it probably wasn't the right moment for the play. I'll say this. It helped us in the end because I remember turning to Matt. We both looked at each other as soon as Penrith scored that last try. And I said, the best thing about having an 8-point lead here is they're going for a 2-point field goal. We've just got to keep them outside. Well, they won't even try and come inside the 40. Look, the way Penrith are in their attack, no disrespect to our defence, but I would have rather them go for the 2-point field goal than be looking for a try. Because when they throw the ball around, some of the ability they've got in that team, I also said to Matt before Penrith scored that try, I can just feel it. Yeah. Things are never easy for us Parramatta fans. Again, what did I say? It gave me flashbacks to, mate.
High Marsh's
300th game. We had that game one. It reminded me of that. I remember High Marsh's game.
Yeah.
Half the crowd Parramatta fans at least. Yeah, mate, it was a nightmare. Yeah. And Michael Jennings killed us in the end, didn't he? But look, that game back then, we had the game one. It was the same thing. The Parra chant was going around. Half the crowd Parramatta fans at least back then, probably even more. It was like a home game. And then all of a sudden, they just come back and some kind of rabbit out their ass. And yeah, look, we got screwed. They actually had that game on Sunday when I was out for Mother's Day. I'm testing your memory here, but Luke Burt put a kick through. They charged it down, clearly played it. They say not played it. Penrith score off that set. We got screwed. High Marsh got screwed. That kind of summed up that year. But look, this game on the weekend, it reminded me of that. I thought, oh no, here we go again. We never make this easy. Flashbacks to Cronulla. We never make this easy. But look, we held on for the win. They went for the 2 points. They missed. Gutherson did an incredibly good job to move his hands away from the ball after hitting the post. And look, it was the slowest set ever. We could have probably been penalised for deliberately slowing down the game, but Kenny Edwards would have been very proud of the boys there. So let's go to you, Troy. You're a player of the match and your play of the game.
Well, look, I mean, anyone could have really taken the player of the match because it was a real team effort, I thought, on Friday night. Obviously, Isaiah Papali'i was outstanding. I think 186 metres. He's just really showing that his form from last year he's backing that up again and probably even a little bit better this year. When people had a few doubts about him going to already signed at the Tigers, we thought, well, maybe is he going to keep on that performances, but he's been outstanding. Matto off the bench was great. I think he's found a solid spot there off the bench. Really gives that impact. And I think, the captain, or both captains actually, Junior was outstanding as well. Never took a backward step. And also Gutho, he was outstanding. Try assist, scored a try. The moment of the game, well, it all started like back at the fourth minute when Penrith scored. It's like, oh, okay, Penrith at home, four minutes in, they scored a try. This could be anything, but we dug deep and so I'll go Gutho for player of the match, and I think the turning point for me was probably when he put that kick through and chased it and got the repeat set. I think that really upped the ante and just showed you that he was leading from the front and was willing to do everything that he could to get that win for the game. I thought Mitchell's kicking game. I've been pretty critical of him just kicking it in the air all the time. But kicked for over 750 metres, and apparently there was a method to his madness. It was just building up that pressure. And then we all saw when Dylan went over because the ball bounced and he grabbed it and scored the try. And
the other thing is they were kicking to Toho quite a bit to kind of take him away from that second run. I know teams used to do it for us with Fergo. We know how powerful Toho is and what kind of player he is. So I think that's one of the reasons they were doing that. But as you just touched on as well, a build up to that moment for Dylan's try. I don't know if Edwards really had to catch many all night. And I think he was kind of standing back expecting the ball to go to Toho. And then, boom, there's a try time and match winner.
Yeah, and plus his first game back as well. So, obviously he'd been at training doing a little bit, but his first game back under the spotlight. And I was actually a little bit worried when Will went for that run for Gutho's try. I thought, okay, what's he doing here? He's going himself out of dummy half, but he was able to get that offload to Gutho and score. So great result, great game. Just need to back it up again this week.
Can I just add, in 2020 and 2021, we had these big wraps around Gutho, and he's up there with the Dally M leaderboard. And I think this season he's been good, but hasn't been great, in my opinion. But I think this was probably his best game of the season. And not only that, about his running, his defence that you mentioned, I think his running ability as well under the high ball, his communication with the wingers and centres, there was no dropped balls at the back or anything. It was a really, really good performance from our fullback at the back there. And I can agree with Troy in him being man of the match in that sense. And I think he was one of the best players on the field.
Yeah, you're right. And look, when I talk about my game, I didn't talk about my player of the match, but I'm going to give Gutho the mention as well, giving him, as he has touched on, Hayden, I think we spoke about in the car as well. It's definitely his best match. It's one of those matches when he just knew he was on from kickoff. I want to give both our front rowers a mention as well. Reg, the first tackle of the game was absolutely huge, and he just at that moment you knew the boys were on. In saying that, Reg got battered every time he ran the ball, as he usually does at Penrith, and he just kept going. But 150 metres to Regan Campbell-Gillard, 207 for Paulo. I know about, 6 episodes ago, we're talking about Paulo not running the ball enough. It seems like when we played Penrith and played Melbourne, FYI, we're the only teams to have beaten both Penrith and Melbourne, in case you didn't know. They've just tucked the ball in and they've just run for it. So, but look, my player of the match was Ryan Madison. There was a moment in the game. I love the impact he's bringing off the bench. Don't get me wrong. It seems like we finally found that person in the middle. Look, obviously, Murata will come back and do a job there as well. No disrespect to Kafusi, who I think has been doing quite a fine job. McIntyre's minutes are obviously down because of the way Madison played. But there's a moment in that game where I knew Sean Lane had made a good start to the game. He was done for the night. You could just see it.
Yeah.
His body was done. It was right in front of us, wasn't it, Matt? And I said, we've got to get Madison on. Sitting there going, yeah, he was dead. He was dead for about 5 minutes. I said, we've got to get Madison back on. We've got to put Madison out the second row. We'll win this game if we get Madison in the second row. Madison comes back on, and 5 minutes later, he scores a try and obviously put us ahead. I thought he was superb. He showed footwork to show why he used to be a 5'8" and a halfback. You don't see many big man move like that, and he's got the biggest arms in the competition as well. But, yeah, look, he was my player of the game, and that was my moment of the game, obviously, as well. Matt, we'll go to yours quickly.
Yeah, it's close between Gutho. We mentioned it after 5 minutes. We turned to each other and said, Gutho's on tonight. Like, you could just see the energy he had in the back play, and he was always there. So it's close between him and Maddo, but I'm going to say Gutho. That step he put on Cleary to put Maddo through that gap, like, he saw Cleary come running out the line. That's on him, pretty much. He was... Gutho said your famous words to Jerome after that try. So
he did.
Yeah, he was everywhere. So,
and you saw how much it meant to him too when Maddo scored that try. He just jumped up in the air with a big fist pump and so much to him.
But as we said, he was on that night. Maddo revving the crowd up, getting the energy back, and we saw straight after it, we scored again with Dylan. But yeah, my moment of the match, I'm going to have to say, would have been obviously the Maddo try, but just Gutho's quick reaction to grab that ball and step Cleary was just, we've never really seen him be a game breaker. And we've always talked about it at games, Troy. When we're being behind, we don't see the chip and chase or the like we're used to with like a Bevan French or a Hainsey, or there's not really a game breaker in our team. Like we always rely on Mitch, but yeah, for me it was Guffo. That play just summed up the night. So, and with Junior running that much meters, you can tell he's watched the tape 20 times after that loss. So last year, so on your Junes.
He's not a man I'd like to piss off. And it's interesting we talk about Madison. Look, we know he's off contract at the end of the year. The news has come out today that obviously the club's starting negotiations with him. I kind of looked at the start of the year and said, yep, we'll keep Junior. Sorry, we'll keep Junior, but we are keeping Junior. We'll keep Maddo because, look, I don't think anyone else is going to take the risk. Due to the head knocks, I'll touch wood and say hopefully he doesn't have any more of them, but I think a lot of the reason that Madison kept out of the middle of the field was due to those head knocks. We saw him obviously play lock at the Tigers and come to us and he played second in a row, but I still think he's our best option at lock. I'm not going to lie. I think Paul. I'm really giving Paul up there, aren't I? You just got me fired up with him. Nathan Brown's doing an awesome job there. Don't get me wrong, but I just like Madison. I don't know. His ball playing ability as well. He's one of those blokes who can do anything, and he can be a game breaker as he proved.
But I think with him on the bench, when Reg and Junior come off and Matto goes on, you sort of don't lose a lot of impact there.
100%. Look, and obviously as well next year we're going to be looking for a starting second rower. We might as well get the Angus Crichton rumour going now. It looks like he wants to leave the Roosters. So let's say Parramatta have got some money there to spend on him. We should have some money, that's for sure. So
the rumours around him have been a couple of years now. Like before he signed, I think it was like the year after he signed with the Roosters, there was always rumours of him coming to Parra. I know BA was a pretty big fan of him. So there's always been that whisper. There's always been rumours circulating every time he came out of a contract. Parra was always the first one there. So don't be surprised if we make a play again.
100%. We've got to be looking for someone. Ourselves, we've lost Isaiah. Lost a bit there. Lost Murata, who's obviously playing second row as well. So I feel like
Oregon as well. Oregon has the Sharks.
Yeah.
We've been planning. We've got to be planning for someone big because look. Yeah. Everyone goes, the salary cap. It's a salary cap. There's players or nothing. Well, we lost Ferguson last year and didn't replace him, really. So Jennings' contract's never really been replaced. Now we've upped some prices and some players here and there, but watch the space and see what happens. Look, we'll quickly talk about the New South Wales Cup result. This is, I know I say it every week, but the boys haven't really lost games when we've travelled away, but they've gone down 25-8. Obviously, massive circumstances around the injuries and stuff. We've got some players return. I was off at 5 guys smashing a burger. I didn't see the game. Matt, you were there, weren't you? Do you want to give us a quick little break?
Yeah, so I managed to catch the last 20. I was watching it on the screen downstairs outside the dressing room. So saw Sean's first try within the first couple minutes. I'm like, here we go. But Penrith Juniors, man, they're all their lower grades, they're next level. So, but yeah, it was good. Sini had a massive game. I thought he played really well. Unlucky. We were in it for a long time, but then, Penrith just scored, I think it was like 3 tries in the space of 10 minutes that just ruined us. But we had a lot of Jacob threw a mad, probably one of those cutout balls he's known to do in reserve grade, but never really comes off in first grade, to Matt out on the wing, and he scored, and that got called back forward pass. So that was a bit of a turning point in the game. So that probably keeps us in the game if he scores that. But yeah, it was all around good performance. But yeah, there was just some crucial errors where Penrith just capitalised.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously earlier in the day as well, in a classic Jersey flag score / Old Toyota Cup, 40-32. But clearly defence is the winner. We went down there as well. So it's interesting.
Apparently, due to my barista connections, the fullback who plays for Parramatta, Penrith were way ahead, and Parramatta did scoring. I think he said about 4 tries.
Yeah, it was
late
4 tries in 8 minutes or something.
Yeah. So apparently the week before against Canberra, it was down the left-hand side. So the fullback actually played left centre, and this week it was down the right-hand side. So
it's not his fault, man.
He might be on the right-hand side this week.
Yeah, look, it's interesting you boys talk about Penrith juniors as well, because obviously a couple of weeks ago they won the SG Ball as well. They seem to be producing him unbelievably well out there. I saw the game a couple of weeks earlier when they played against the Knights up at Maitland, and I don't know, it was weeks earlier. They played up against Maitland, and just some of their players were just unbelievably huge. They were like 17 years old, and I wouldn't really run at them. So Penrith obviously doing great things there, and it's part of Gus's 10-year plan. So finally got them through. All right, moving on. This week, Magic Round. I'm going to throw you boys on the spot here. I love throwing you on the spot, so get ready for this. I want one of your magic moments. It can either be a player or something that's happened. Your magic moments over the years as a Parra fan. So it can be a specific player, someone who, anything really. So Troy, I'll go to you first because it's nothing like a bit of pressure.
Oh, mate, you probably know what I'm going to say. Actually, I won't say that one. I'll say another one. Magic moment, Hindy's goal kick, last game, off the sand, and he got it. That was magical.
Can I guess your other one was the Jared Hayne chip and chase, or was it the Jared Hayne
actually, no, actually it wasn't. So my other one was the other one was Semi-Rad Radra, 4 tries.
Brisbane, yeah.
That was magical to see in full flight.
Yeah, Hayden, we'll go to you.
I'm going to go round 2, 2021. Pouring conditions. Parramatta underdogs at home against a tough Melbourne Storm side, full strength, and in the rain, Mitchell Moses with a huge bomb, and obviously Sevo, rest is history, and the Parramatta win over Melbourne streak started there.
Huge, yeah. Matt, yours?
Oh, so many. I've got a couple. Other than Hayne, obviously, his little 2009, and whatever he done before that at Parra Stadium was amazing. Tamana Tahu slam dunking the goalpost. Probably one of my favorites, but I'm going to have to say, I think it was 1992 or 93. Lee Odenryan running down Kevin McGuinness in just coming. It was like 100-meter intercepts and got him just before the line and dragged him out. Lucky there's no video ref, because if you watch the replay, he actually, as he slides out and grounds the ball in the end goal. But yeah, Lee Odenryan's try-saving tackle against West Magpies.
Wonderful. All right. Well, yeah, you've given a mention a few of mine, but obviously just Haynes' 2009 run. I'm going to do 2 as well. I'm going to touch on a game in general in 2009, Parramatta versus the Tigers at the SFS. I'm not just going to give Parramatta a rap. Benji Marshall that day was on fire as well. His flick pass for the first try, Haynes' chip and chase, is everything about that game. It summed up what rugby league was all about. I still believe whoever won that game went on a run to make the grand final. We won it. We went on the run. I think if the Tigers won it, they would have got the confidence as well. But look, in the spirit of Magic Round, I've got to go with this one. A disappearing act. The best disappearing act ever. Jamie Lyon, 2003.
Oh.
Magic. He disappeared.
Greg Inglis.
He disappeared. He's gone. All of a sudden he's gone. He was going back to the country, then he pops up at the Super League, and then he pops up back at Manly. So isn't that magical? But no, really, look, we'll talk about the games, and obviously, yeah, that 2009 run was just unbelievable, and that's probably my magic moment. So getting up to this weekend's game, I know, Troy, you're going. Hayden, you're going all weekend. Adam is not going. It's the first year of Magic Round I've missed, obviously, not including COVID. Look, we'll run through the team first of all. It's a pretty simple one. There's no changes based on last week. So,
and that's look, good. Consistency.
When you're exactly right, look, everyone's going, look, Sean Russell, Hayes Perham's not a winger. Let's get Sean Russell back in. It's his first game back after 7 weeks for, obviously collapsed lung and punctured lung and fractured ribs after some accidental knees to the back where the person didn't get suspended, but they've already been across that. Look, we've stuck strong with that same team. Like I said, when you beat the defending premiers, you really don't want to make any changes. The bench, obviously, extended benches, Arthur. They do this to me every week, this League Live app. And the 18 person is always missing. Who is number 18? Wiremu Greg, 18?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Then Rain, Russell, Lozo, Elzarkham, Hands. Is that correct? Because, yep. All right, we're going with that, League Live. So that's our team for the week, obviously, 1 to 17, same as. Look, Hayden, I know you're out there for a pretty exciting weekend. We'll give you your thoughts on this game, first of all.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it. Obviously, last year, pretty disappointing result against the Roosters, 28 points to nil. So the boys will be, I think, another game they'll have circled on the calendar, wanting to bounce back big. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think Mitch played in that game last year. I think Dylan Brown and Jake were the halves. So it'd be good to see kind of full strength sides go up against. As for the Roosters, they get Connor Watson back, which makes it a bit tough for us there in the middle. I think Reed's got to step up, make those tackles, and they had a bit of form last week, so it should be a really good game.
Yeah, Matt, go to you.
I'm actually excited for this one because I want to see Will versus Manu. So Will's been on fire the last couple of weeks, probably one of our best players, and for him, it's a big test for him up against. I think he's up against Manu. I think they're on that side he's on that side, but yeah, it's going to be a big defensive effort because they're going to come down that side with Tedesco and that. So yeah, it's going to be a good one. Can't wait. But yeah, I think we'll now that Penrith game's out the way and we've got ticked that one off the box out of the thing where we'll move on from that and I think we'll go on a bit of a run here now. And Roosters have got a tough run the next couple of weeks.
Sorry, you done? Sure? You done?
Because they play the Panthers after us, Matty. So yeah,
they got like Panthers, Melbourne, and us again. So
yeah, tough run there. But the Roosters, well, they're probably a bit like Cronulla, a bit of a bogey side for us, to be honest. We have the odd win against them here and there. But we really need to show this week that last week wasn't a fluke, and we need to back that form up into this week. Another big team, another finals team, and we need to get the win against them. The Roosters are probably glad that, or in particular, Teddy's probably glad that Sivo isn't back this week because he probably have nightmares of him catching a bomb and running over the top of him. But look, it's going to be a great clash. Lindsay Collins is out for the Roosters, so that's a bit of a blow to them. And as we said before, having the same 17, rewarding them for the win last week, going into this week and having that consistency, all makes for a good clash, which I think will be played a little bit in the rain, I think. So that may suit us a little bit better. We have that trial against Penrith in the rain. So who knows? Looking forward to it anyway.
Problem with the rain is against the Roosters is Teddy can't stand on his feet as is and falls over at players. So God knows what he's going to be like in the rain. Look, the Roosters to me, they're probably the most inconsistent team at the moment. They pull off these good performances and then they pull off the other shit they pulled off against the Bulldogs the other day. If they remind me of any team ever, it's the Parramatta Eels in 2010. In 2009, Daniel Mortimer had a breakout year. In 2021, Sam Walker had a breakout year. The Roosters were everyone. I think you spoke to most people at the start of the year. Everyone was saying the Roosters can win the comp this year. They just haven't put it together. It's something that we did. We did the same thing in 2010. Something about the young blood coming through and combining with the older half. I know Kiri's not old, but he's been around quite a while now. They just haven't put it together. They haven't quite found their balance yet. Probably knowing our luck, they found that balance last week, just in time for us. But to us, obviously, it's a massive danger game. Look, they're going to be a top 6 team, I think, at the end of the year, no matter what. They're going to be in fine form. There's key matchups across the field. So I think we'll come away with a win, but I think it's going to be a bit of a nail-biter. And look, I think it's going to be, once again, another finals preview, based like last week was as well. I realised we forgot something. We forgot to talk about Kikia's 40-20 attempt in the first half. How did we forget that?
That's right.
Remember that, Troy? Or you're seeing things? Did he attempt a 40-20? We dropped the ball that time. We almost went for a 40-20.
Yeah. How did they not see that? I mean, obviously the referee didn't see it because he was on the other side. So the touch judge.
He did. He put his whistle to his mouth.
Yeah, because he's waiting for the touch judge to say something because he was right there. He was 5 minutes behind anyway. Should be up with the play.
The touch judge actually overruled the referee apparently, and they've come out and said obviously they got it wrong now. But look, I was taking a bit of the piss there. I'm just going to give you a bold prediction before we go to our poll predictions. It's magic round, all right? We're going to see 2 try assists off kicks by forwards across the 8 games. There we go. All right, this based on kick out liking to kick 40-20s. You don't know what could happen. All right, who wants the first bold prediction?
A general bold prediction then.
General, yeah, a general. Hayden, you're going to be there all weekend. We'll go you. First try scorer. Score and bold prediction.
First try scorer, I'm going to go Dylan Brown. I think back in that number 6 jersey, he's going to be back again, have a blinder. He's scored plenty of tries this year. I think we'll see it again. I think we'll win 1-12, so I'm going to go by 10. I'll go 28-18. Worried about the score now that Troy says there's a bit of rain. It could be a tighter game than that and low scoring, but I'll take that score. Bold prediction you're not going to like, but I think they're starting to kind of crack down on these high tackles and some plays. So, look, bold prediction is that next week we're going to be without one of our star players. I'm going to say that it's Mitchell Moses. I'm going to say that Mitchell Moses faces a suspension after this round.
Are you saying that at Magic Round again, we're going to see a crackdown on high tackles when everyone's watching? No, the NRL wouldn't do that.
I'm not saying it's going to happen as a crackdown, but I think that someone in our team will not pull off the same as what we saw at Cronulla, but a high tackle that the NRL is not happy with, and Jacob Arthur could be back in the halves next week against me.
All right, we'll leave that bit of that. We won't touch that.
You're a great fan, eh? So that
he's taking Mitchell Moses out with a
You can't back the same ball prediction every week, Troy. What are you meant to say?
He goes the same first try score every week. All right, Troy, we don't want to steal your first try score. Go.
It's going to change.
Yeah, I might actually change. Change it up, be a bit different. Magic round, different, I guess. And probably will score now. But look, I'm gonna go Bailey. Bailey for first try. Sorry, ads. But I'm gonna go Bailey for first try. And look, despite the rain, that's predicted, and who knows whether the weathermen always get it right. Who knows what'll happen? But look, I'm gonna say we're gonna put on 30 odd points, so 30. I'm going to say 32 and maybe Roosters 20. Bold prediction. Is it so bold if Victor Radley gets 10 minutes in the sin bin? Is that a bold prediction? That's a
given. That's almost a given.
Yeah, probably. That probably is a given. Jeez. I think of one now, don't I? A bold prediction. Matto will get a double. There you go. There's a bold prediction.
I'd be putting some money on that. Matt, we'll go to you.
All right, so Hayden kind of took my score, but that's all good. I'm going to go probably 36-22. I'm going to go...
How'd you go from 1-12 to 13 plus?
Big change.
Well, I was gonna go 28-20.
Hang on, aren't you the bloke that had it as a close game the other day and us end up winning by 24 points?
Yeah, and then I had Parra to smash Panthers and we won by 2.
The whole back, how many from the back line actually scored? There was about 3 of them, mate. You did well.
I'm gonna go 36-20.
Oh, you've taken 2 points off. Was the weather bad? You said 36-22. Now it's 36-20.
Well, I'll go 22.
Right.
36-22.
Yep. All right.
I'm gonna go.
So it's just hit the post and gone in, not out. You're just watching it in flight.
Yeah. I'm gonna go RCG first try.
Oh. Yep. Junior was 81 last week. I'll see what RCG is this week.
Yeah. And my bold prediction is going to be Will Penasini to get 3 try assists.
3 try
assists. Okay.
Yeah.
Does that mean the bloke outside is going to get 3 tries?
Oh, he could just make a break.
Could be inside.
Board of Gutho.
Yeah, that's fair.
Could
All
be
right,
a
well-
try assist to Bailey.
My first try scorer, I'm just sticking with it, is Bailey Simonson as well. I'm not going to be thrown off by the flat track bully down there, Troy at Penrith. Bailey Simonson. Look, I'm going to go a close game as well. I'm going to go 23-16. Yep. I feel like it's going to be very close. I feel like the Roosters are going to be on this game. We put a target on ourselves. Like I said, we're the only team. I don't know if you know this. I don't know if I mentioned it, but we're the only team to beat both Penrith and Melbourne. They've only lost one game each this year, and it's both to us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew that. Did you know
Really?
that?
No,
Yeah,
no, I hadn't heard that. That's
Well, it's an interesting
stat.
fact that as we
Yeah.
are the only team to beat both Penrith and Melbourne, that we now have a target on us and teams are going to be turned up for us. There's no doubt about that. We won't get a team who has an off game against us. Well, not a top team anyway. And we don't get to play the bottom team, the Knights. Who didn't know if you know, but they're on the bottom of the ladder. Sorry, couldn't help myself there. But, yeah, I think
Who's
they're going to
kicker
turn up.
the
Be
field goal?
23-16. Be nice and close. Well, that's part of my bold prediction.
Okay.
All right. My bold prediction is for Gutho to kick the field goal, but there's more. But wait, there's more. All right. Gutho to score a double as well. So Gutho to score a double, kick a field goal. I'm going to just add one more little bit of spice to it. Wet conditions, Mitch Carth will play out. Gutho will also kick 2 goals.
Ooh.
There you go.
Well,
So I'm going Gutho.
I think
Let's
it's
just
a little niggle.
After the 23 points, all the 23 points we're going to score, I'm going Gutherson to score. Just put this as the bold prediction. It'll be much easier because if all those things happen, I'll start buying lotto tickets every day. Gutherson to score 13 plus. There you go.
Well, you've got Bailey as first try scorer, so that's 17. So then,
Yeah, that's
who
all
does the
right.
other? Who does the
Mitch,
other
Mitch is going to kick that goal.
Well,
Someone else for the other try. Mitch is going to miss it because his calf's going to twinge. He's going to stay on. He'll be right.
And so is that bold prediction that Mitch doesn't play next week because of this rain, mate?
There you go. Cool.
There you go. We're both doubling up here.
Not because of suspension.
Yeah. Look, I think we're done, aren't we?
Yeah,
That'll do us for this week, obviously. No one have anything else to say, but
Go
obviously you
Parra.
two boys enjoy Magic Round.
We will.
Be good up there.
Have fun.
And, we'll chat next week, hopefully after another win.
Go Parra.
Go Parra. Have fun at Magic Round, everyone.